So I'm in the King George pub in Estelle Green, just along from the kennels, and this is an area which could be in line for geological surveys. And Mark Todd is here with me, who works as a scaffolder at Sellafield, but also, Mark, you've got a guest house which is also dependent really on the nuclear industry.
I've got a guest house called Whistling Jack's, which through the weekend tends to serve people who are on the coast to coast, but through the week we do most of our business is Sellafield related.
And do you find that whatever people think about nuclear and the risks of burying this stuff, there's like an acceptance really that this industry, without this industry, this whole part of the world would have nothing to offer?
There's always been an acceptance. I mean, I'm not too keen on the nuclear industry myself, not just because of the risk of it. I think that the money that's spent on dealing with the waste is extraordinary, so that the economy part of it is crazy for me. It's a very expensive way to do business. I think it was initially done to get rid of the coal mines, but on the other hand, everyone around here relies on it. If you took the nuclear industry away from this area, it would be the worst, I would imagine. I mean, I can remember what happened to Concert all them years ago.
Up in County Durham?
Yeah, in County Durham. It would be a lot worse than that. Everyone relies on it around here. So I could never advocate not having the facility and the facilities they're talking about bringing on stream, because obviously I've got a lot of family and friends up there and we do rely on it, and I would have to edge, and especially with my business as well, I would have to edge in favour of what they're proposing. Not necessarily the underground storage facility, but I'd have to have a lot more in depth at that. But with the other stuff that goes on, it's here anywhere, we can deal with it. You shut it all down, you shut West Cumbria down requirements.
And that comes from someone who's a Guardian reader and formerly in the Socialist Workers' Party.
Socialist Workers' Party. I mean,
and even your guest house is named after something from our country diarist Harry Griffin.
Exactly, and I'm not glad that Harry's dead, but he might not have. But it'd be
turning in his grave.
Harry might agree with the nuclear industry. I'm not really sure.
Well, he'd certainly understand the need for jobs, because he, as well as being a journalist, he was on various committees to do with that sort of thing.
And I think that's what you've got to distinguish. You've got to distinguish between Cumbrian people aren't sophisticated like me. We're not sophisticated enough to be involved in the economic argument. All we're looking at is jobs. When they were shutting pits down, miners weren't talking about, look, it might be a good thing because of acid rain. It's the same with us. We've got the nuclear waste problem, we've got the problems with radiation, we've got a problem with the leaks, especially in the 80s, that don't seem to be as bad now. But overall, it's about jobs. And there's no community in this country who's going to argue that they should shut jobs down in their community just because it's not ecological or economical. They'll always fight for the jobs, and I'd have to fight for the jobs in this country. I'd say, on the whole, even though I'm not a big friend of the nuclear industry, on the whole, we should encourage the nuclear industry to stay.